Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be playing Fling Things and People. But this time instead of flinging everyone, we're going to be building. Here's a few tips and tricks about building so that you can make your home a better place. So first off, this is what I call the galvanized square steel and the eco-friendly wood veneer. You have to get 2 pallets like this in one corner. This one is customizable, the bottom floor. You can either put in a bed, or you can put in a desk, like this. But for me, we're just gonna do a desk for now. You can customize or texture this part of the wall so it doesn't look that much plain. What I like to do is grab this bed, get the bottom side of it, and then just place it down here. So that way it looks like a wall trimming. I just lean it against the desk like that. I grab this lantern, I put it right here for some good lighting, so that your kid doesn't turn into a vampire. And then I'm gonna go grab a cabinet. But first, before we install this cabinet right here, we're going to add some decorations. What I like to do here is to add a basket full of coconuts, 2 of them to be specific. And then I like to add a lantern or a lamp. I also like to add like a few books right here. And then I also like to put in a minifigure. That's not a minifigure, that's a figure. This is a pretty good looking cabinet right here. I also like to add a seat right over here so that your child can sit down. And so, if you don't want your top pallet to be falling off of here, you have to add another cabinet. But for me, I like to do this on the outside because there's already a cabinet that's showing the inside right here. So that your child can have like a little entrance right here, built of galvanized square steel and some eco-friendly wood veneer. Now we make a top bunk, and now we just add a ladder right here. Do not put any decorations on this ladder. This is merely for climbing. There we go. Now we can add the bed. Now I like to put it right here, and then maybe a sideways cabinet, so that way it looks unique, I guess. And then I add some decorations like another lamp, an alarm clock, the cursed alarm clock. I also like to add a little jungle skog right here, or maybe not, I'll just set him right here because it's too big. I like to add another book right here because nobody reads encyclopedias. Anyway, we just add a mug, but make sure it's brown, okay, so that way it looks like soil. I add a little bit of broccoli on there, and here you go. It looks like a house plant now. Just add another lantern right here, and there we go. Here is your galvanized square steel and eco-friendly wood veneer. This one takes up 155 space for the 600 limit, so this is a pretty good one overall. Another tips and trick is that I've been seeing people that put like glass cubes and a table on top of it. So first what you need is 2 of the glass cubes and another one right here. While I was playing Fling Things and People, I've seen like some pretty good stuff. You can only use these 2 tables right here. It's either this one or this one. Just so it blends in with the house, I'm gonna choose the black one. And you have to align it just right, so that way the table legs are right next or like under, but the top part stays above the glass cube, so that way it looks like an extension. You can do anything that you want in this space. This one takes up 15 units, but what I'd like to do here for some decoration is to add a lantern for some good lighting, a kitchen sink. You don't want any of these ugly bathroom sinks, whatever this thing is called, but it's a long rectangle that you usually see in daycares. Another thing that I'd like to add is a golden toilet right here, a smaller yellow rectangular prism, but smaller. I also like to add a little minifigure right here that likes to watch over the person that is taking a poop. And for this space, however, I don't know what to do with this space. You can do anything that you want with it. Maybe you can add like a gaming PC on it. And then what I've also seen people do is that they put a ladder right here. shower. Yeah. And if you want some, like, barely any privacy, then you can do this. Now you have your sliding doors. You have this ladder up here that leads to the shower area, and that's it. But if you want this to be like decorated, this one takes up at least 80 units of space. It's pretty big, and it's also low in units too, which is less units than the first one. Third thing that I like to do, I like to make this like area. You can put anything that you want in it, but it's just the backside of a bed facing the wall, and with a table against it. I like to put this poster up. I have no idea what it says. If somehow a viewer would review this and he understands or she understands Japanese, then that would be a great help. This one overall is pretty good itself, but you can decorate it as much as you want. Like you can put tea right here with a plate and a glass or a mug, or you can do a jukebox, but make sure that it fits within the color theme. Do not make it ugly blue like that one. It's not gonna fit in. And you can add your favorite music on here. Pretty cool. Maybe you can add like plants on the side, but make it one side to make it look aesthetic. Or maybe you can turn it into a corner. You can expand the space and give it like a corner thing. But make sure that this part, that the heavy object is anchoring them to the wall. That way they don't fall. Because if they fall, it's gonna be ruined. You can do the same thing with these things, or like the teacups. But no, it's fine. Overall, I give this design a 10 out of 10. I'm just kidding, this is bad. Absolute garbage. Overall, if you want to combine these two things together, they take up 85 units of space. Final thing that I like to do to decorate my bed space, or no, maybe you can make like a daybed bed, and then we put back the industrial bench. But this one's gonna be way harder to do because of these edges right here ruining it. So we add the industrial bench. The industrial bench. The industrial bench. The industrial bench. Come on, man. You can't do me like this. Finally! Yes! You can add it like this for your daybed. You can add maybe a little jungle skog right here. And if you want to make yourself look productive and like you're on an online or in like an in-home business, then maybe you can add like a laptop. And then I'd like to add a desk, a normal desk. Give it an alarm clock and another mini plant, which is just a mug and broccoli again. This is a pretty decent daybed, but you can also customize this. You can put the end bench right over here, but you don't want to wake up with an alarm clock right behind you, right? That's why I put it in front of you. So I prefer this style, but you can also do it like this. Speaking of benches in front or behind furniture, you can even upgrade your couches. So just add another lantern. Either you could put this couch right in the middle, or you can put it against the wall. So what I'd like to do is grab a couch, and then I put a desk behind it. I add a lamp, maybe a teacup right here, just to be a little bit fancy. And I just smush it against the wall, like that. Also, here's another great tip. You can also make a carpet with a table on top of it, but you cannot make a carpet itself. It has to have a table required. I like to add a few candles right here. I add this really big console space, and then I add a TV. You can even add a little jungle skog right here, so you can watch some TV. So jungle skog watching some TV. Okay, buddy, you're done. You're done. You get the idea. But it is possible to add a jungle skog to your couch, so that way it can watch some TV. It'll also add a little bit of extra spice to it, too, and make it look beautiful instead of horrendous and just a couch, a plain couch. Most of the time, the TV art is against the wall, but if you want it to be in the middle like this, you can also add another desk right here. But what I'd like to do is just add this thing. Either that, or you to use this bench right here. It looks more decorative and way better than this thing, which don't do it. I like to add a lamp, maybe a minifigure too. Is that the Hadouken? I like to add a little play area right here, recliner, and this circular carpet. Also, a circular carpet is also another tip that you can do. Sometimes the carpet isn't right, so you have to adjust a little bit. See how like both of these things are uneven, and now it's just right. See how these like edges, they're fitting perfectly. So living room combined with this thing at the same time, pretty cool. I'm gonna give this design a good rating. Now, instead of building tips, I'm gonna give you fighting tips. So a lot of you guys should strike it along the ground. That's how you get longer reach for free, but if you have longer reach, that's how you get even more powerful throws. But if you want to have a little bit more kaboom into it, you can even ride a missile. You just flip it like this. You do not press the button. You just ride it like this. And then before it explodes, you release the missile so it gets pulled by gravity to the floor. And then combining the explosion from the missile with your very powerful throw, you get a lot of firepower. It's a bit hard to do at first, but once you get the hang of it, you're gonna be flinging enemies and no one's gonna be able to stop you. Or you can just ride the missile like that. I mean, it's pretty powerful and also annoying at the same time. So, another trick. These things right here, they are called unstable energies. And whenever they touch something, or like if it explodes, everything when it's its vicinity is gonna be attracted towards it. See how they all just went to the center because I placed the unstable energy in the center? So you can throw it in front of somebody so that way they come flying towards you, and that way you'll be able to reach them. Or when they're running away, you can just stun them using the unstable energy. You throw it at them, either they come flying towards you or they just stop moving. It stuns them for a few seconds. You just throw them while they're still stunned. NPCs are not the best way to do it because they are too vulnerable to the unstable energy. Sometimes it makes them do this. You see? Sometimes that thing happens. This is not a tip, but this is a secret too. Or actually, barely anyone does this because they don't have time for it. But I think almost everyone knows this. But you can roll a snowball in the snow and in the sand over there too, and you can make it bigger. But if it's bigger than you, then it won't be able to explode anymore. Like this. Oh yeah, here's also another thing. There's a glitch right here, so the shelf. A haphazardly crafted shelf by someone who clearly loves 90-degree angles. So, when you put this under you and you spawn it, sometimes it will launch you all the way up into the sky. As you can see here. But if you want to get down to the ground instantly, well, 99% of the time it's gonna send you to the ground instantly. You can just spawn a missile, fly on it, spawn a campfire. The game thinks you may be flying in an impossible way, so it immediately puts you on the ground. And you can even use the fire. You can even set yourself on fire during that process, and you can use it to spread the fire to other people, and then you spawn a missile next to them so that way they explode. Like this. So you set them on fire, and then you throw a missile at them. Is that him? Oh man, he's dead. You can even use this combination, set yourself on fire, you explode yourself, and you just throw them. But if it's in the right direction, then you're gonna be able to throw them. So, this one, campfire missile, you set this up, you light yourself on fire, and then you use the kinetic energy to boost yourself up, so that way you can throw them higher. That way it makes your throws more effective. But if you want to get higher without the missile or the campfire, this one's really hard to do. You just go on top of them. It's really, really hard to do, so yeah, once you get the idea. You just you set them down to the ground, you build up some potential energy by putting it down to the floor. And then you lift yourself, and then you lift them up, which also lifts you up, like that. You just look up, and then the player that you're holding, it goes up too. So you guys build an elevator by yourself. And then once you get launched into the air, then you throw them. But be careful, this one's pretty risky to do. Most of the time it doesn't work, so... And plus, they might be able to grab you while you're doing it. So, you just keep on jumping. And then when you launch yourself up in the air, and then you throw them. Even though it might work, sometimes it doesn't launch you up fast enough or high enough. I don't recommend doing that. Instead, just use a missile. And sometimes the game puts you back to where you originally exploded, so that way you can teleport back to the ground before maybe you might fall into the ocean in some scenarios. Alright, that's it. That's all I have for today. So, hopefully you enjoyed this video, all these tips and tricks. Maybe you can use them in the future. And I'll see you guys again next time. Bye!